are places where reality bends, where the impossible meets the ordinary. Tonight, you will cross the thin line between what we know and what we fear to know. Prepare to enter a territory beyond sanity, beyond logic, beyond the common. The echo in Blackwood Hollow, I still remember the exact moment when everything changed. It was October 23rd, just after midnight, when my phone rang. My sister's voice trembled on the other end. Mom's missing. 3 days had passed since anyone had heard from her. Mom lived alone in our childhood home in Blackwood Hollow, that tiny speck of a town in rural Pennsylvania where everyone knows everyone. Or at least, they think they do. I drove through the night, arriving as dawn broke over the valley. The maple trees blazed red and gold against the morning mist. Mom's house stood exactly as I remembered, the peeling blue paint, the creaking porch swing, the garden overgrown with those odd black roses she loved so much. Her car sat in the driveway. Her purse remained on the kitchen counter. Her reading glasses lay folded on her favorite armchair. But Mom was gone. Sheriff Daniels wasn't concerned at first. "Annie's probably just visiting a friend," he said, refusing to file a missing persons report until 72 hours had passed. But we knew better. Mom never went anywhere without telling someone, never in her 63 years. On the second day of searching, I found her journal hidden beneath a loose floorboard in her bedroom, a room I thought I knew as well as my own face. The final entry was dated the night before she disappeared. "It's calling again from the hollow." God help me. This time I must answer. Growing up, we'd heard stories about Blackwood Hollow, the ravine that cuts through the forest behind our property. Local legend claimed the hollow would sometimes echo your voice back to you in the words of someone you'd lost. Just superstition, Mom always said. Just the wind playing tricks. That night, I walked to the edge of the hollow. The moon hung full and heavy overhead, casting long shadows through the trees. "Mom," I called out. The word dropped into the darkness like a stone into still water. The silence stretched for one beat, two. Then came the replinot, an echo of my voice, but Mom's, clear as day. "Emily, help me." I ran back to the house and called my sister. She arrived the next morning with supplies, flashlights, rope, hiking boots. Together we descended into Blackwood Hollow. The temperature dropped with every step. The air grew thick and sweet, like overripe fruit. Our flashlight beams seemed to bend in odd angles. We found the cave around noon, a narrow opening in the rock face, easy to miss if you weren't looking. Inside, the walls were covered in strange symbols, spiraling patterns carved by hands unknown. And deeper in, we discovered the chamber. The walls were lined with mirrors, dozens of them, antique and ornate, reflecting our shocked faces back at us from every angle. In the center stood a single mirror, taller than the rest. Its surface didn't reflect the chamber or our images. Instead, it showed Mom's kitchen, exactly as we'd left it that morning. As we watched, Mom walked into view. She moved around her kitchen, making tea with mechanical precision, her movements slightly off, her eyes vacant. She couldn't see us, couldn't hear our screams or the pounding of our fists against the glass. Sumo. Someone else entered the frame, a figure that looked exactly like Mom, yet somehow wrong. Its movements were too fluid, it smiled too wide. It placed a hand on Mom's shoulder, then turned slowly toward us. Its eyes met mine through the glass, and I knew it could see us. It smiled, revealing teeth too sharp, too numerous. It spoke with Mom's voice. She answered my call, as others have before. As you will soon. The sheriff found us wandering the forest at dawn, disoriented and babbling. No cave, no mirrors, no sign of Mom. They resumed the search with dogs and volunteers, but found nothing. 3 weeks later, Mom returned home. She had no memory of where she'd been, just a vague story about visiting an old friend whose name she couldn't quite recall. She seemed fine, happy even. She baked cookies. She tended her garden. She called us every Sunday. But sometimes, when she thinks no one is watching, I catch her staring into mirrors with a strange hunger. Sometimes, when she speaks, her voice echoes slightly, as if coming from somewhere far away. And sometimes, late at night, I swear I hear her whisper names I don't recognize, perhaps the names of those who answered the call before her. I've moved back to Blackwood Hollow now, into a small rental cabin just down the road from Mom. I've covered all the mirrors in my home. I don't answer when voices call from the hollow at night. But yesterday I found a small package on my doorstep, a hand mirror wrapped in black rose petals. And this morning, for the first time, when I looked at my reflection while brushing my teeth, I could have sworn my smile was just a little too wide, my movements just a little too smooth. And somewhere, deep in Blackwood Hollow, I hear my own voice calling my name. Black screen end.